is here, creator of Under the Flesh Lair, Pistoleta, and soon-to-be Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, successor of 6 crowdfunding campaigns, self-published professional for over 5 years, critically writing for over 15. Let's talk Rambo. Toxic masculinity, right? That's a thing that's going around this day and age, cancel culture and all this type of thing. And people just want to rain on our parade. The glory days, the action heroes of yore are now seen as nothing more than toxic males. And there's a problem with Rambo. There's a problem with seeing violence. I mean, what happened? I mean, when was a rated R movie and being like, I can't remember when a rated R movie was criticized for being a rated R movie. I just don't understand where we're living in. There's now this push for censorship. Is that what it seems? It's kind of sad. It's like, what's going on, right? In some ways, we want censorship. In some ways, we're arguing about this, but then in other ways, we could jam, certain agendas down your throat, gratuitously and not even, harp on that. But God forbid you maim someone, you in a movie, you cut someone up, it becomes a thing, and then it's linked to this toxic masculinity. Rambo, did I have high hopes going in? No. I saw the scores on Rotten Tomatoes. I figured, there was going to be some kind of outcry over it, and I had to see the movie for myself, and that's basically what got me to want to see it in the first place. Aside from, I like Rambo, I'm not going to lie. I enjoy the first Rambo. For me, is the best. First Blood was also, good. The second and third movie for me, I mean, they're just, it's whatever. The first one for me, it's special, and there's a deep message, with these soldiers coming back from war and having a hard time getting acclimated in society. So it was great. It was a great work. It was great work of its time. And then it became an action-packed gore fest, which there's not a problem with that. And I think that's a good thing, because if you going into Rambo expecting some type of revenge story, then you've hit the nail on the head. You're good. You've got what you've expected. If you're going in there expecting whatever these people are crying about and toxic masculinity, it's kind of like when you watch the movie, it's kind of in a way like Taken. I was kind of thinking that, I'm like, there's a sexual trafficking aspect to this. I'm like, okay, this is kind of like Taken, actually. And then we get to the points in the movie where it's kind of funny, and I was actually thinking this in the movie theater when we're seeing Rambo kind of in the farm preparing his traps, and I'm thinking, how's he going to lure these freaking cartel dudes, these sex traffickers to his place? Like, how are you going to bring it to the home turf? Like, that's what I was thinking. And you're seeing like the montage playing, and he's making the traps, and it almost has like this Home Alone type vibe to it, but a more gritty, obviously war center driven Home Alone angle or aspect to it. So as far as that's concerned, the movie hits the point. It's a revenge story, right? So Rambo is pretty much, he's lived his life, and he has a niece, a Mexican niece, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna go say, oh my God, that's JW is trying to get diversity. Okay, he has a Mexican niece. It can happen. I can see that happening. I myself, I have an Italian uncle, and he's, I love him like a dad. He's amazing. I grew up with this guy, he's like, some of these things shouldn't need to be explained, but I get the world we live in. So I was okay with that. That didn't rub me the wrong way in any kind of way. And it was cool. So what I noticed is that we're seeing him in this past life. Okay, we're seeing him now in this life now, and he loves his niece. And here we go. We got to have a trigger. We got to have our inciting incident. We got to have what's going to make Rambo go Rambo, right? And this for me is a big problem with the movie. Now, again, I'm nitpicking here big time. Okay, you're going to get your action, you're going to get your revenge, and if that's what you want in Rambo, you're going to be happy. Okay, me, I break things down from a narrative perspective. I don't look at politics and say, okay, there's that, but I could tune into it and I could apply certain ways. Just how I said, how having the Mexican daughter, I didn't see it as like, oh, we're just filling in for diversity. No, I felt like I could see that working. For me though, what I thought kind of rubbed me in a way, and it was just the narrative, just seeing how the niece literally, throws this whole thing into proportion. And how she does it is her character, she's successful, she wants to go to college, and everything looks great, right? Yeah, we're already building her up to have an amazing future, and we already know something's going to happen. Now, I don't know how and I don't know why, right? We have this successful college girl. She has a father figure, Rambo, in her life. She has a grandmother in her life. Her mother died of cancer. So there's a lot of love there. Okay? But for some reason, she wants to know about her dad. And I get it. Why'd my dad abandon me kind of thing. I'm okay with that, okay? But at the same time, you got to make it feasible. You got to make it believable, right? I could understand that, right? But at the same time, being that I work at a high school and I hear a lot of these trouble scenarios, a lot of these kids, when they have love and they have good things going, like they don't want to know about the dad that abandoned them. They just don't. They could care less about that. So if you're going to make me feel why this girl is going to go to Mexico to look for her dad, you need to sprinkle some BS in there that I can swallow and chew, right? And there's none there. It's just like she wants to know why her dad left her, whatever. Even while the movie and Rambo and her grandma was like, yeah, he's a dog. He's a piece of trash. He beat your mom when she was dying with cancer. He never showed up. But of course, she just wants to know about her dad. But when realistically, I'm trying to find a way. Did he find her number? Did he send her some text? Is he saying, hey, I want to see you? That kind of thing. Nothing at all like that. It's literally she just wanting to see this dad that treated her like trash. And what's even more funny is she gets to see her dad. She talks to her friend. She finds a way to see her dad. And her dad looks like a Latino version of Sean Astin from The Hobbit. But he seems like a caring dude. He seems like, that like he seems like, by his face, he seems like a heartwarming, lovable dude. And I'm focusing on this a lot because, again, this is where your whole story gets its fuel. This is where you're building a house and you're building your foundation. And it's like, are you building it with wood beams or are you building it with cardboard? You know what I mean? And again, this is where I'm just like, okay. She meets the dad, and the dad, obviously, he's on his own life because the woman answers the door, probably the new woman he's with. Maybe there's kids in the picture, whatever. But they have a talk, and she wants to know why you abandoned me. And his talk literally is, when it gets to it, she's like, I want you to know. He's like, I always hated you. I your mom or whatever. You guys kept me down. I just didn't want to be with you. I knew I never wanted to be with you. So the dad obviously hates her, and it doesn't make a lick of sense. So this is how she's upset. The friend takes her to like a bar. And of course, the friend is in on it. And the friend sets her up. And she's now in this whole sex trafficking thing in Mexico, the worst places. After Rambo saying, don't do this, yada, yada, yada. So the way the girl just drives into Mexico, the way things just happen, some things just doesn't make sense, So for me, I need to see why she is so adamant, about reuniting with her father in light of what we know from the movie, and we didn't get that. So that's my nitpick right there, right? Other than that, the movie, it's something we've all seen before. There's some cool action, there's some cool gore, there's some fresh kill scenes, no doubt, but it's nothing that you've never seen before. Does that mean it's bad? No, that means if this is what you want, you're going to get it and you're going to be happy. So in that sense, Rambo does provide, and you will enjoy it. My thing from a narrative perspective is where I just feel like that whole inciting incident, whatever. And then something really crazy happens. Okay, so again, the title of this YouTube channel is called Spoiler Rant, is where I just, don't watch this. Sorry if this things come a little bit late. This is a spoiler rant, okay? So again, I just feel like there's a lot that could have been worked on as far as the story, but this is what you're getting. It's a Rambo piece. The girl, he ends up saving her, and she ends up, she becomes a piece in what puts Rambo again into more Rambo mode, right? One thing I do like is that Rambo goes, and his first encounter with the cartel or these traffickers is pretty much they literally could have killed him. Like literally, like his face looks back to the Rocky days. All you needed was for him to just cry out Adrian on the floor, because I mean the makeup effects literally are like after the end of the 12th round scene fight with Apollo Creed, where he had his big old bulby black and blue on his cheek. So he could have been killed. The cartel could have killed him. They let him go, and he's recovering. Someone saves him, yada, yada, yada. And now we get this revenge path. He gets her back. She doesn't make it. Now we're in full revenge mode, and we got your typical one-dimensional bad guys, So it's just like, I feel like, there's a way where you could even make the bad guys interesting and make it a real struggle for morality as far as Rambo being the ultimate decider. But again, this is Rambo, right? We're like, this is me like going too hardcore on my nitpicking. So if I would give this movie a 1 out of 10, I'd give it a solid 7. Because I knew what I was getting into, and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't something that was just revolutionary. But if you're against the whole SJW force and push, and they're just, this is, you gotta, well, this is too violent, and it's just, they go too much on that. So in that sense, definitely support the movie. So you're just showing that, there is a place for revenge movies and action movies. Hello, people, this is still entertainment. It's still escapism. I had a long day at work, and I didn't mind seeing Rambo crack some skulls. It was okay. And I just said my little nitpick there, in which how the whole inciting incident, how the whole story, gets his legs, for me, just fell flat. And that's just my opinion on that. If anyone here has seen the movie and wants to chime in through the comments, let me know what you thought of Rambo. Let me know your personal thoughts. It'd be cool to check out some of the comments. But again, if you're seeing this, definitely do like and subscribe to the channel. I'm slowly building an audience, and I also write comic books, so I know a little bit about storytelling and trying at least to make things as fresh as possible and just fun as well. And even in the different genres I do respectively, I like to tap into certain things. So I do have some range. I did a supernatural, horror, I did a Western, and now I got the fun, an anthropomorphic TMNT, Star Wars, had a capybara baby story, and Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, which is funding now on Indiegogo. Definitely check it out. I'll definitely paste the link in the description. And thank you guys for, tuning in whenever you do. I appreciate it. And I will see when the next movie I'm watching. I'm thinking that's going to be the Joker movie coming out October 4th. That'll probably be my next review. But I'll try to get into a rhythm where I can do more movie reviews, because that's also fun for me. Anyway, guys, catch you on the next one. Be safe.